The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a gentle glow through the sheer curtains of our bedroom. The room was filled with a peaceful stillness, the kind that comes just before the hustle and bustle of a new day begins. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, my mind a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. My name is Chris, and for as long as I can remember, I've harbored a secret that I dared not share with anyone, especially not my wife, Emily. I loved crossdressing. It started innocently enough, a curiosity sparked by a childhood fascination with the softness of my mother's silk scarves and the way my sister's dresses seemed to float around her as she spun in the sunlight. As I grew older, that curiosity deepened, becoming a part of me that I both cherished and feared. I had become adept at hiding it, locking it away in a corner of my mind where it wouldn't interfere with my daily life. But secrets have a way of demanding to be let out. Emily and I had been married for 5 years, and they were the happiest years of my life. She was my best friend, my confidant, and the love of my life. We shared everything, or so she thought. I never had the courage to tell her about my crossdressing. I was terrified of what she might think, afraid that she might leave me if she knew the truth. But secrets, like pressure cookers, can only hold so much before they burst. And one evening, that's exactly what happened. It was a typical Thursday night. Emily was in the living room, engrossed in a novel, while I was supposedly working on a project in my study. In reality, I had taken the opportunity to indulge in my secret. I had carefully selected one of Emily's favorite dresses, a light blue sundress that she wore on special occasions. I loved the way it felt against my skin, the way it made me feel connected to a part of myself that I usually kept hidden. Lost in the moment, I didn't hear Emily's footsteps until it was too late. The door to the study creaked open, and there she stood, her eyes wide with shock and confusion. My heart pounded in my chest, and I felt a cold sweat break out on my forehead. "Chris, what are you doing?" she asked, her voice trembling. For a moment, I was paralyzed with fear. Then, something inside me snapped. I couldn't keep lying to her, not anymore. I had to tell her the truth, no matter the consequences. "Emily, I can explain," I stammered, my voice barely above a whisper. "I love you, and I never wanted to hurt you. But there's something about me that I've been hiding. I like to wear women's clothes. I have for a long time." There was a long, painful silence. Emily's face was a mask of confusion and hurt, and I could see the wheels turning in her mind as she tried to process what I had just told her. Finally, she spoke. "Why didn't you tell me? We've been married for 5 years, Chris. Why didn't you trust me?" Her words cut deep, and I felt a wave of guilt wash over me. I was afraid, I admitted. Afraid of what you might think, afraid that you might leave me. Emily took a deep breath and closed the door behind her. She walked over to me, her eyes searching mine for answers. "I need some time to process this," she said softly. "But I love you, Chris. I don't want to lose you." With that, she turned and left the room, leaving me standing there, my heart heavy with a mixture of relief and fear. The hardest part was over. She knew my secret. But what came next was uncertain. Over the next few days, things were tense between us. We tiptoed around each other, avoiding the subject that hung between us like a dark cloud. I was terrified that I had ruined everything, that our marriage was on the brink of collapse. Then, one evening, Emily came to me with a determined look in her eyes. "We need to talk," she said. "I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I want to understand this part of you. I want to understand why you feel the way you do." We spent hours talking that night. I told her everything about how my fascination with women's clothes started, how it made me feel, and how I had struggled to keep it hidden. Emily listened patiently, asking questions and trying to understand. It was the most honest and open conversation we had ever had, and by the end of it, I felt a weight lifted off my shoulders. "I love you, Chris," she said, taking my hand in hers. "And I want to support you. But we need to figure out how to make this work for both of us." From that moment on, things began to change. Emily suggested that we set some ground rules, boundaries that would help both of us feel comfortable as we navigated this new aspect of our relationship. We agreed that I would have a designated time and space for my cross-dressing and that I would respect her need for time to adjust. But Emily, being the curious and loving person she was, didn't stop there. She started researching, reading articles and joining forums to learn more about cross-dressing and how other couples managed it. She wanted to understand, to be a part of this journey with me. One day, she came to me with a playful smile on her face. "I've been thinking," she said. "Why don't we make this fun? How about we turn this into a game?" "A game?" I asked, intrigued. "Yes," she said, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "I'll set up little tests for you, and you have to pass them. If you do, there might be a reward in it for you." I was taken aback by her suggestion, but the idea of turning something that had caused so much stress into a game sounded refreshing. "What kind of tests?" I asked, curiosity getting the better of me. "You'll see," she said with a wink. "Just be ready." The next morning, I found a note on my pillow. It was from Emily, and it read, "Your first test is in the closet. Good luck." I rushed to the closet, my heart racing with excitement. Inside, I found a beautiful red dress hanging up, along with a pair of matching heels. There was another note pinned to the dress. "Wear this and meet me in the living room at 7 p.m. All day, I could hardly concentrate on anything else. The anticipation was almost unbearable. When the time finally came, I slipped into the dress, feeling a thrill as the fabric caressed my skin. I put on the heels and made my way to the living room, my heart pounding in my chest. Emily was waiting for me, a smile on her face. "You look beautiful," she said, and I blushed under her gaze. "Now, let's see how well you can walk in those heels." She had set up an impromptu runway in our living room, and for the next hour, we laughed and giggled as I tried my best to strut my stuff. It was exhilarating, and for the first time, I felt truly accepted for who I was. The tests continued over the next few weeks, each one more challenging and fun than the last. One day, she had me do her makeup, teaching me the tricks of the trade. Another day, she challenged me to pick out an outfit for her, one that she would wear to work. It was a learning experience for both of us, and it brought us closer together in ways I never imagined possible. One evening, after passing yet another one of Emily's tests, we sat on the couch, a glass of wine in each of our hands. "You know," she said, "I think I understand now. It's not just about the clothes. It's about feeling free to be yourself, without judgment." I nodded, tears welling up in my eyes. "Yes, that's exactly it. And I can't thank you enough for being so understanding, for helping me feel accepted." Emily leaned in and kissed me gently. "We're in this together, Chris. No more secrets. Just us, learning and growing together." As the weeks turned into months, our bond grew stronger. Emily's tests became a regular part of our lives, and they helped us communicate and understand each other better. I learned to embrace this part of myself without shame, and Emily found joy in helping me explore it. One day, Emily surprised me with a trip to a local support group for cross-dressers and their partners. "I thought it might be nice to meet others who are going through the same thing," she said. The support group was a revelation. Meeting others who shared my experiences, who understood the struggles and joys of cross-dressing, was incredibly validating. Emily made friends with the other partners, finding a community of her own, where she could share her thoughts and feelings. As we drove home from the meeting, Emily reached over and squeezed my hand. "I'm so proud of you, Chris," she said, "for being brave enough to be yourself, and for letting me be a part of this journey with you." I smiled, feeling a warmth spread through my chest. "I couldn't have done it without you," I said. "You've made this journey so much easier, and I'm so grateful for your love and support." As we pulled into the driveway, I realized that our relationship had transformed in ways I never thought possible. What had started as a fearful secret had become a source of strength and unity for us. Emily's tests, once a playful way to ease the tension, had become a symbol of our commitment to each other, a commitment to honesty, understanding, and unconditional love. That night, as we lay in bed, I held Emily close, feeling a deep sense of peace. I knew that there would still be challenges ahead, but with Emily by my side, I felt ready to face them. Our love had been tested in the most unexpected way, and it had come out stronger than ever. And as I drifted off to sleep, I couldn't help but smile, knowing that no matter what the future held, we would face it together, one test at a time. Thank you so much for watching till now. It means the world to have you here. This community is all about empowering each other and celebrating the incredible journeys of everyone on their path to living authentically. If you're ever feeling lost or alone, remember you have a whole family here for you. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and let's keep inspiring each other, sending you all the love and strength in the world. Until next time, live your life by your rules.